Hello, welcome back to Universal Love Law. Today I'm going to be discussing the dark-sided Scorpio. So this is for people that have Scorpion energy. And so we're going to be talking about the more negative traits. So this video is not for everyone. Some Scorpios are very mature and they're very aware about the energy that they possess on the dark side, and some people are they have a lot of self-control, and so they don't always act out on their urges. You can be that person, but a lot of this dark-sided energy is played out when a Scorpio is immature, young, and doesn't have control. Some of these traits may not apply to you, so take it as purely entertainment, or as someone you may know, you might, be realistic about the qualities, because something really interesting about astrology is it's become so interesting how it's playing out as truthful. Like, we see that these signs are really possessing these kind of behavior traits, and so it's really interesting as we study humanity and humankind to see that the signs are directly linked to the negative and positive of that person. And it's really interesting when you start to really dive deep into astrology on a deeper level. So let's jump in this. So this is not just for the sun sign Scorpio. This is for people that have very strong dominated Scorpio energy. Me, I'm a Scorpio stellium, 8th house stellium at that, and my 8th house is in Scorpio. So, and I have multiple planets in my 8th house, and so that are in Scorpio. So I actually can relate to the energy. It's happened to me a lot, the dark-sided aspect on a subconscious level. And so, but I'm very well aware of that negative side, and so I control it, and but let's jump into this video, okay, guys? So first and foremost, the Scorpio is fixed water. So they like to control themselves emotionally. They don't like anyone else controlling them. And you will see this attribute playing out in little children, Scorpio little children. It's like they can be born such the sweetest people in the world with good intent, and all it takes is that one time. The first time they've ever been scorned or jaded or hurt by a very close person is what is the start to their protection and their non-trusting of others, because usually it happens with someone very close to them that makes them see the world as a very dangerous place. So they always try to fixate on their emotions, and sometimes that can cause an obsession. They are fixated. So think of oral fixations, people that smoke cigarettes, like chain smoke, or babies that suck on pacifiers because they need to fixate on something. That's how the Scorpion energy is about their emotions. They fixate on their emotions. They look for people that might be jaded or shady coming their way. They are not very open to trusting people. And what this can do, and when they become very dark-sided, is the more dark-sided Scorpio energy, these people can become very insecure at a very early age through experiences, and that can create a lot of problems. It usually starts with some insecurities. People don't even have to do anything directly to the Scorpio, but they could just not be popular in school, or they can have, experiences where people bother them. They have a very strong burning anger within them, the dark-sided Scorpios, that they cannot control. It's the Martian energy. It's war energy. They're ruled by Mars, so they definitely have a very strong anger and strong like burning energy within them. That's the way that I would be able to describe it. And it's stamina in its rawest form. Like, they can really hold on and harness that dark, angry, passionate energy. These people can be passionate about how much they hate a person. They can obsess that much. it's a burning sensation and they cannot avoid it. They mentally obsess about the things that they cannot stand, and they have to try to avoid that or learn how to not avoid it because it causes health issues for one. And the thing about the dark side of Scorpios, they don't care if you know they don't like you. These people could be very stalkerish as well. They could stalk their enemy. They believe in keeping their friends close and enemies closer. Um, and they really don't let you know. Like, they could have a very strong, bold personality and automatically just not give people chances. Dark side of Scorpio, they could just automatic, like, you're guilty and it's not innocent and proven until proven guilty. You're just guilty in the eyes of a dark sided Scorpio. They don't have a leniency for people. They don't allow people to explain themselves, and they really want people to beg for mercy that they are enemies with. They thrive off that very dark energy, and this sign, along with the Aries, and another sign as well, they have that ability to visualize how they can destroy you. And it's a very dark energy that I'm able to channel somehow, because we all have a little, like, jaded aspect to us. If we play on it, that's due to our free will. We all have choices, but ultimately we shouldn't, uh, you know, we shouldn't really play on that darker side, because it causes a lot of negativity in our life. And dark sided Scorpio people, they can attract very negative entities if they are in a very negative light. Like, oh, I'm gonna have to burn an incense up in here, because I'm talking about some real stuff up in here. But yeah, so that's kind of how the dark sided Scorpio becomes kind of possessed and afraid. They feel like something's watching them or stalking them. Like, they can have that fear of ghosts and spirits as well. They can be hunted, and that's just because they can have very dark thoughts, and they could be very in tune with a dark aspect. And it's kind of hard to really explain. It's just like a fear, like they're tapped into the lowest vibrational world, and and it's just because they're water, they run really deep, but they have this very unique energy. They can sense when a person is intimidated from an honest place. They can look a person in their eyes and call their bluff. They can look a person in their eyes and see their soul. That's another thing. I'm going into just the good, the bad, and the ugly, but let's just talk about it, because I could go on and on first with Scorpio, and other signs, but Scorpio definitely. So yeah, the darker side Scorpio, they can be hunted, they could be jaded, they could be in a state of fear. They can curse people and hex people. They can hate a person so bad that they just do something like just like scream in their pillow and like do things with their hands and like rip up paper and like think very negative thoughts to curse a person, and they're not realizing what they're doing is very ritualistic. But early age anger in a Scorpio can cause them to have these very strong outbursts of anger. They can also cut themselves when they're so angry. They just want to feel pain. The thing about them, they're so deep and transparent with what their feelings, that they can embody the pain and they can express it. Like, think of it as art. People, they create a picture, right, of what they're trying to express, and dark-sided Scorpios can embody fear, pain, anger, rage, and they can embody it on a very intense level, because that's the way they feel it. And they might not even be realizing how crazy they look and how they have ruined their chances with people, because some people, it's too intense for them. And they're like, you're crazy. Like, you're really crazy. but sometimes they want to be seen as crazy. And sometimes they're not really that crazy, but they just want you to know that they will get crazy. And they just want to be like crazy right then. And they just, some of them, they are bluffing, but not a lot of them. I wouldn't test one and to see if they are, because they're going to show you, but they end up very lonely in that feeling of what they have done. They have remorse, even though some of them have no conscience. It's like it hurts them to do it, but they have to do it, type of thing. I know that sounds really crazy, but anyways, they have problems with paranoia as well, just like the Gemini energy. They can be they can have torturous thoughts, like very dark thoughts. And they could be attracted to very reptilian type of animals, and like things that shed skin. And they're into the psychology of life. And so but this can cause them to just be want to just embody this very darkness, and with that you can attract darkness. So there's some people that, this is just could be a dark-sided Scorpio style, but they don't realize that they're actually attracting very dark, jaded people in the world that will give them a series of unfortunate events or a series of experiences that will teach them to just become more authentic and just like, protect themselves from that darker energy. But they can be extremely manipulative to the people that are close to them. Like they like to see patterns and routines. They like to study people. The darker side of Scorpio, they like to study people. And once they have caught on to your routine, if they're feeling moody that day, and it could be anything, they could have just woke up on the wrong side of the bed, they will either just lash out on you directly, or they will do things that they know you secretly do not like. And they do this because they cannot help it. Like they just want to mess with you. They want to see you tick. They want to call you how they want to just see you get angry, and they want to have power over you in that sense, and they want to just have control over you in that sense. The more darker sided Scorpio people, they want to have control over a person's emotions. They want to take control. So they can be very manipulative by like doing things that they know. Like if they know you come home at a certain time every day and you have to leave the door unlocked for them, they'll purposely not leave the door unlocked, and they'll go somewhere hecka far to where they see how you respond in that type of situation. Like and as parents that are dark-sided Scorpios, they can do a lot of vindictive things to their children to emotionally torment them. And it really just depends on, because some dark-sided Scorpios don't play about their kids, but they're very dark and messed up with other people. But like they say, you can't be one way with others and be one way with yourself. What's within is without. As above, so below. So if you're displaying dark-sided traits, your children will be affected by that. You will be teaching them negativity. These people cannot like someone for no reason. They just don't like their vibe and their energy. And they could be well reasoned, like there could be a really good reason to why they shouldn't like that person. But with the dark-sided Scorpio, they will, sometimes they don't know. They'll just say, I just don't like them. I just don't like them. Like they could be low-key haters on the low. And it's just because they deal with vibes and energies all day. Kind of like that Cancer energy. But the Scorpio, they just don't trust anything. Now, let's see. They could be very manipulative and do things out of being vindictive, like just to mess with you, because they're psychological. They like to see patterns in things, and they like to see how people respond and react. So a darker sided one could torture people. I don't want to get too dark into this video, but these people could want to torture someone. These people could want to wound them, because the dark side is Scorpio. They are also, the Mars rules weapons and things of that nature. So the dark side of Scorpio could definitely be deep rooted in just their revenge, because they do seek revenge, and they may want to hurt a person or even end a person's life. They, like I say, they have that ability to foresee the death of someone. They're really tapped into that because the energy that Scorpio possesses is life and death, okay? The death and rebirth, okay? So it's not scary to, it's something that a very mature Scorpio person they come to terms with it. They accept it. They understand that with life there is death. With death there is life. And it's always a revolving circle. They're very strong. And I don't want to go too much in the positive because I will get to that with my next series. But until then, I'm going to focus on the darker side. They're very premeditated. Like I say, they will, you know, they will visualize how they do the whole entire crime. And another thing about them is that, like, they could be very taboo on every level. So whether it's something, you know, sexual or whatever it is that they're doing, they could go overboard because they can be very extreme, and they desire intensity. So these people might like pain when it comes to pleasure. Pleasure can be pain. These people, like I say, can cut themselves. These people can cause self-inflicted wounds and things of that nature. And they're just a complete mastermind. They want to understand the psychology of a person and their mind inside and out, so that they can know what they're doing when they're away from them. And I can understand that. You know, my Venus, my Mercury is in Scorpio too, so my mind thinks scorpionic. So I definitely know. I ask questions. I probe. These people can definitely probe, and they can be very obsessive with understanding the way a person's mind works, because they're very well aware that all people's minds are completely different. And so they want to know, what kind of mind do you have? They want to know why people do the things they do. Like, why do hoes hoe and pimps pimp? Like, why would a prostitute sell their body for a pimp? They want to understand that on a real level, not a surface level, like they're insecure. No. Like, maybe that pimp is giving that prostitute something that pimp is, you know, being something taken from them as well. It's a give and take. Like, it's like, I know I'm like, well, how do I get all into that dark side? But Scorpios, they want to understand things on a psychological level. They want to, they just need to know. You know, they desire to know, because that's how they can defeat their opponents. That's how they can deal with people. They don't want people around them that they can't trust. That's what they have dealt with their whole life, is not trusting people. So they don't need to trust you if they know you, if they can predict you, if they know your hand, right? And they could be very controlling in that, right? You know, they can set people up for failure. They could set people up just to mess with them, like just they can torture people, the ones that are close to them in relationships. If you do something wrong to them and that you don't leave, oh, trust and believe they never will forget. They will never forget a family member that did something wrong to them. They could have 90% love for you, and that little 10%, they're going to want to seek revenge. The darker side of Scorpio, they're going to want to seek the revenge necessary for them to get their last laugh. It's very important, because that pain never goes away. These people deal with pain on a different level. So it's best to either stay away. I would encourage people to kind of just stay away from dark-sided Scorpios, because they will bring to your life a negativity that you might not be equipped for. They deal with that dark side of life. Now, another person that's not as in tuned, empathic, or clairvoyant, or spiritually protected, they won't know what the heck a Scorpio person is doing. They'll just feel very intense. You know, they might be blinded by that intensity and just be very attracted to it. But, you know, ultimately, you got to know what you're doing when you're dealing with a dark-sided Scorpio, because they're ruthless, they're revengeful, they're vindictive, they're manipulating, they're controlling. Okay? They're premeditated. So you have to be careful when you're dealing with the dark-sided Scorpio. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Remember, this video is not for everyone. Some of you guys are angels, I know. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and peace.